And it's 7:30 on a Friday morning when you hear that music from Oklahoma. Pop quiz, who's singing that song? Do you know?
I think I'm going to fail the quiz this week.
Yeah, I am too because it just blanked. He plays Wolverine.
Oh.
Well, you're not talking about the original guy.
No, the original guy is Alan Alda's dad. I believe that's
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman. That's Hugh Jackman.
Oh.
The original is Robert Alda, yeah.
Oh, we did pretty well after all.
There you go.
Thanks, Gloria.
It is time, by the way, for the First Federal Money Program. Here on 92.1 WROI in this morning is Evan Gottschalk. Evan, how are you?
Just fine, Baron. Thank you.
You've brought a lovely assistant this morning. Why don't you introduce her?
Okay, we've got Gloria Carvey here. She's wearing a couple hats this morning, but she's the president of the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce Board this year.
Very good.
And we're also going to get into some updates on Ivy Tech Rochester site today.
Yes, that's very exciting.
Exciting news. So thank you, Gloria, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Usually we order the worst weather for Gloria to come visit with us in January, and this year we were a little bit nicer to you.
Oh, I know. It's like spring.
Anyway, we're going to enjoy talking with you in a little bit. Feel free to chime in throughout the show if you'd like to. Hey, Baron, we're still spotlighting First Federal's 50th anniversary this year, and this month we're recognizing United Ministries Outreach for their many years of charitable service to our community.
Very good.
Last week our guest was Outreach Coordinator Terry Moore, and she joined us and we had a great visit with her. The Outreach program can provide rent and utility assistance to county residents that have a hardship, and I think you're eligible for that a couple times a year. So please join First Federal in thanking United Ministries Outreach, and we'll be highlighting them all month for everything that they do for our county. Our trivia this morning. After Tuesday's State of the Union address, South Carolina's governor gave the opposition response. When did the tradition of the opposing party's response to the State of the Union address begin? 3 years for you to think about. A, 1947, B, 1958, or C, 1966? Somewhat of a recent occurrence.
I'm clueless on that one.
Depends on your perspective there, but okay, we will let you think about that a little bit, and I will spill the beans later.
You'll clean it up if you do.
Well, sports news. Got a big high school girls basketball game tomorrow night,
Very much
7:45.
so. Yes, that's going to be.
Been volunteering. Boy, they could always use the help, and our kids of this county could use the help. If you want more information, contact Sherry Shepard at 223-2183. And let's see, Baron, you do any jogging or running anymore? Bicentennial Committee.
You shouldn't drink this early.
Oh, maybe Gloria, you want to get out and?
Oh no.
Okay, well, it's not till October, guys. You got some time.
When I got paid for it, and all my clothes were the color of that jacket you have on. That's yeah.
Well, what I'm talking about, the Fulton County Bicentennial Committee needs 20 torchbearers to carry the bicentennial torch across our county October 10th. You might be able to walk. I haven't checked into that, but it's possible.
Walking is good.
So, we'd like to get our 20 brightest, or recognize 20 people if we can. So you can nominate a torchbearer January 31st. We could nominate each other. I don't know if that's a good idea. So let's think a little harder about who deserves that honor. But it's October 10th from 10 to 11:30 is when that'll be occurring. And so we got a little time here, but we need to get the nomination forms in by January 31st. And you can get those applications at the Fulton County Museum, the Fulton County Public Library, or the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce office.
Yes.
So think about those in our community that we could honor in that fashion. Kind of a neat thing that doesn't occur very often, obviously.
Every 200 years.
You can mail the completed application to Scott Stahlbaum at Rochester Community Schools.
If you do that next summer, somebody might say, somebody really got lost on the Rio.
Okay. Oh, address to mail that to is 690 Zebra Lane. Scott Stahlbaum will accept those and get those turned in for you.
Oh, I bet he can come up with some runners.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right in his
yes.
wheelhouse.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It'll look really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
If
it
you
will.
think about it around here, especially later in the day, sunset and all that,
It should be a fun thing to do. All right, we had a milestone to recognize this week. This was kind of a first federal family milestone. I'm sure I'm going to catch a little flack for
50 years.
announcing
right?
this. Well, that's true. The bank as a whole has been around 50 years now, as of this month. But we had another milestone we want to honor too. This week at First Federal, we had a reception for Dina Gottschalk in honor of her so far 20 years of service at the bank. Dina's been a real integral part of our bank family, does a wonderful job as our marketing director and radio show producer. Among many, many other things that she does and has done over the years. Thank you, Dina, for 20 great years, and we're counting on 20 more.
Yes, yes.
Dick sets the bar high.
Yes.
You gotta really have some longevity to. Now, thanks so much, Dina. You've done a great job for us. Okay, money news. Got a lot of stock market volatility for a few different reasons, but if you ignore that, Baron, that's the hardest thing I think to do. Put that on the back burner for a second, Baron, Gloria.
Mm-hmm. All right, got it.
Thinking about the U.S., consumers aren't in such a bad spot right now.
No, they're not.
Energy prices are very low.
Very
I think
low.
lowest they've been in the last 15 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Job market is stronger, and that's going to lead to rising wages. There's a little bit of more competition for jobs, and that's a really good thing. You look in the paper at the help wanted ads, and you're seeing positions that have some qualifications now that they're looking for, and that's a great sign. Housing market outlook is very positive. Low rates for financing there, and favorable lending conditions too. Banks like us are looking to make good quality loans, and with jobs being more stable and wages being more stable, it's qualifying for a loan is something that's really much easier to do now than it was a few years ago when things weren't so rosy. So consumer wise, we're not in such a bad spot. If you look at the headlines and you see what the crazy trading is happening on Wall Street, it doesn't necessarily feel that way, but it's you can look
Any
a little
idea
deeper.
why the Bank of Scotland's freaking out?
I don't have any idea.
You saw what they did, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you did think that,
Keep
it's
quiet.
like the captain. Yeah, it's like the captain saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, keep eating your dinner, but we just hit an iceberg."
I don't know.
I looked at that and I thought, "What? Huh?"
Yeah,
and
that
it
was
seemed
not
insane to say.
nothing like
know.
creating a panic.
I
Sell the family jewels and run for the hills.
You wonder what motive's going on there. I don't know the story on that.
And we have no idea what. I don't think the Scots know what their relationship is to London, so that may
Yes.
have something
That's
to do
true.
with it. I don't know. But that was the money headline for me this week, and it made no sense to me, which is why it was a headline. Because,
Yeah.
Wall Street,
Yes, sir.
completely built on perception,
It is.
and yet they control our entire economy.
Well, they don't necessarily control most
And
of.
once a day they run up the stairs yelling "Charge!"
Right.
Well, you're going to see more up and down like we've seen this week.
Good.
Big downs, big ups. But they're
You
they're
mentioned fuel. Fuel cost makes no sense.
yeah.
It's low when we have people overseas burning a lot of fuel, bombing a lot of people, and when we're at peace, it flies. It's,
Right. It makes you wonder if it's not being manipulated to hurt our oil industry.
Yeah.
And I know that it's hurting the ethanol industry tremendously. And when you get $30 a barrel oil, it really.
that has to be the assumption, unless you want to assume the Saudi Arabians have all gone mad. Because, they just keep upping the production while the price goes down. And
Yeah. And it's really all the OPEC nations that are doing that. So
Yeah, and you wonder, what is their motive?
it's probably to damage some of the additional oil production that we've put online in the last few years.
And the Iranians are going to come online now with this deal. So that may have something to do with it.
It could.
I just love having my entire universe controlled by people who I've never heard of and who don't know me.
Welcome to the global
Exactly.
economy.
Welcome to Earth.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and don't think highly of Americans.
Well, in the meantime,
Yes.
we can drive.
Sorry about that.
We can drive further than we could have
We
afforded
divert.
before. You can now commute longer for a good job if you need
Oh,
to
yeah.
for a lower
Oh, yeah.
cost.
It
So
does.
in the
Got
meantime-
more money to spend in the local economy.
That's right.
Right, and it does.
And I expect corporate earnings aren't going to be as bad as the stock market's also making it look, because that's really been the main driver long term of our stock market over time. And things aren't so bad with corporate earnings as it would suggest now, as they're looking at China and interest rates and all these other things. So.
And it's still true, right? If you put money in, you leave it alone. Like you said, you
It is.
forget about it.
Right.
I mean, I heard somebody say Donald Trump, as successful as he's been, if he'd have taken the money he inherited, put it in the Fortune 500 and left it alone, he'd have more money now than he does.
That's possible.
And if that's true, then yeah, it's
Long term-
Long term, it's
Long-
The best
term,
investment is our stock market and leaving it alone.
Yes,
not
but,
pulling it
but
in and out.
it's hard, when you think about the baby boomers, and they are now to the point where they're drawing down their 401ks if they're in retirement. And so this volatility does hurt them.
Yeah.
And, when you start drawing it down, you're probably taking it down at a low. And so.
And
that's-
thinking about interest rates being low too, that's hurt retired people
Yes,
for a lot of our retired citizens for these many years that it's been so low because of their counting on some fixed income
right.
investments. So getting that number raised a little bit is going to help a large portion of our consumers too. So as the economy is strong and stabilizes, they'll be able to do that a little bit more, which will help that sector tremendously. Okay, we'll see what happens for next week. We got a lot to figure out between now and then,
Oh,
don't
yes.
we? All right. Thinking of First Federal. We're open today until 5 p.m. Tomorrow 8:30 to noon. We'll be open Monday. We will be open Monday, Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh.
Day. That's good to know. If you need to do some banking business, you can do it on that day at our locations. You can always do it at our ATM, which is always online and open. And you can bank online at www.firstfederalbanking.com. If you currently have accounts with us and you don't use online banking, you can go straight to that website and enroll today and get instant access to review your account transactions, transfer money, sign up for online bill pay, which doesn't have any cost to you, any number of different things that can help you have a better handle on your finances from any computer with an internet connection. We also have a mobile app that can be downloaded from the App Store or the Play Store for both the phone and the tablet. In 2015, this is an interesting stat from last year, this is nationally, not just for federal customers, but more bank customers used their bank's mobile banking than visited a branch each week. This was the first year that's happened. The adoption on mobile is big because of the super convenience and the prevalence of a computer in everyone's pocket now.
Right.
So you
And
can,
phones and watches.
yeah, that's true. You can download that app from those stores and get signed up today. And also, we'd love to connect with you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You a Facebooker, Gloria?
Not really. I
Yeah.
mean, so many people are, but I kind of shied away.
You either are or you aren't, pretty much. There are a lot of people that are. We started connecting with our customers last summer in this fashion. You can search for First Federal Savings Bank Rochester. And then Twitter and Instagram, it's the @ FF Banking if you want to
Right,
connect
right.
with us.
Oh, I think social media is the way. But it is a time grabber.
Yeah, it is.
It is a time grabber.
Our goal there is to have more frequent connection with customers that want to connect with us that often. So we're working on that and enjoying that connection with those that do use it. Feel free to check us out on those channels. We do update pretty frequently. We try to offer some good financial information for you, as well as talk about different things that we're doing as a bank. Mortgage interest rates fell this week, part of that volatility we were talking about. If you haven't refinanced yet, this is a great time to do it. See if your home is a good idea to refinance. You can come see loan originators John Schaefer and Ben Dalton in Rochester, and they can do a free analysis for you to kind of see where you're at. If you're in the Winnemac area, you can make an appointment to talk with Bill Morris there, who will do the same thing for you.
What is the rate? Do you remember?
I don't remember the APR, which is what I would need to tell you. But I believe you can look on our website, www.firstfederalbanking.com, and see those rates anytime. Those are always updated. I think you can get a 30-year fixed rate for 4 or just under. So great rate.
Good.
Check that out. It's got the rate and the APR, which is the annualized percentage rate, which kind of takes into account any fees you may take. It's a great way to compare rates between institutions. First Federal is FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
You don't have that niner down like,
I
like
gotta
Dick
work.
does.
I need to work on a few things. I need to work on. That would be one of them. Well, Gloria, it's great to have you here with us this morning. You're the president of the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce this year.
I know. It's a super honor. And last year I was the vice president trying to learn all the ropes, and we had kind of a turbulent last year. And now I think we're heading into calmer waters and got a great future with our new director, particularly Amy Rowe.
I sense some new focus or some
Yes.
people kind of gathering together around some similar plans.
Oh yes, we've got a great team, 2 full-time employees at our chamber. Amy Rowe, our new executive director, she's been there since October. And we have Kelly Snipes, who's our administrative assistant, 2 real go-getters. And talk about social media bugs. Those 2 are Facebooking the world. And, anyway, they're
That's
very
great.
creative, and we've got a great team aboard. We have a very large board. There's actually 23 people who attend our board meetings, 20 of them voting members, and very diverse from throughout the county.
That's an incredible number of interested parties. That's fantastic.
Oh yes, and I have
Participation.
Full faith that with all of those different talents, that we're going to be providing a wonderful community service.
Why don't you talk to us a little bit about, if someone doesn't know much about the Fulton County Chamber, kind of what the overall mission is or the goal, I guess, and then we can maybe talk about who these members are that are a part of it. And
Okay. We are, a lot of people have a misconception about chambers, and we're really pretty unique in that we are a county chamber. Most of the time we're city chambers.
okay,
And but we are a complete county chamber. That changeover happened a couple years ago, and we have a mission to make the whole county great. And our vision is to increase the community spirit, and to provide
awareness.
great awareness of Fulton County, and make it a better place to live. And with the diversity that we have of these folks, we can do this. Also, a lot of people think that chambers of commerce are supported by some government agency, and we are all member supported. So our memberships are what provide us the funding to do what we do, and we have sponsorships that really go a long way to making this happen.
So you've got a group of businesses that are members of the chamber,
Right.
and the entire chamber is funded by these memberships.
That's right. And our mission is to promote these businesses. We do a certain amount of event planning, but what we're trying to move away from that a bit, and to really focus on businesses and making them successful, whether they're very small or large. And we've got a lot of neat ideas that we're going to be doing.
I bet social media that you're mentioning kind of fits into some of that overall promotion that you're talking
Absolutely.
about. Do you have a website also?
Oh yes, we have a chamber website, and right now I'm not seeing what it is. It's probably oh yes, here we go. chamber@rtcol.com. And it is an excellent website. We also have an online newsletter that comes out to a business. It's called the Business Minute, that comes out about once a month, and it highlights our businesses.
I get that through email,
Right.
which is nice.
Right, and you find out about who's new, what's happening. It's available for any of our members to put information in.
We're speaking with Gloria Carvey, 2016 President of the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce this morning. You talked about some benefits to these members. Let's get into that a little bit. If somebody's looking to get their business, kind of the awareness out there, be promoted a little bit in the community and maybe even surrounding communities with some of the techniques you're talking about, what are the benefits to a business that may be looking to join you?
Well, we highlight our businesses on our chamber website. We also have our real signature event is the chili cook-off in the fall.
Oh, that's a great event.
Yes, it is a wonderful event. And so our members are highlighted during that chili cook-off. And we also have other major educational and networking based events. We will do open houses, we will do ribbon cutting. I'm sure you've seen our pictures
Absolutely.
in the paper.
I have.
And to help promote the brand new businesses. In fact, we're going to be doing for the Evergreen, we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting here coming up in late January here.
That's a good example.
Yes, a brand new business that has joined the chamber, and we want to promote it and tell everybody, hey, come on down and enjoy this brand new business. We also give access to our chamber list for people that if they want to promote a certain item or service, they can use our chamber list.
That's a list of the members?
All the members.
Okay.
All the members. And that goes out all over northern Indiana. We have members that are more than just in Fulton County. And so that's a extremely good networking opportunity. And and then we have an annual gala this year. It will be coming up in April. And here's where we have awards for businesses.
Okay.
And we have our small business award, we have our medium and our large business, we have business man and woman of the year. And this year it's going to be held at the Fulton Community Center. So we try to reach out to the different venues.
That's a nice venue.
Right.
Very new.
Right. And we also partner. We partner with places like IETech. We partner with, Farm Bureau. We're going to be partnering for a legislative breakfast that are coming up. This is a short session this year, so there will only be 2 of them. The first one is going to be January 23rd at the Akron Community Center, and it's a Saturday. So I want you to come out, have a donut.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Put it down.
It's at 7:30 in the morning, and we have free coffee and donuts. And again, it's Fulton County Farm Bureau and the Chamber go together to sponsor.
I've heard those
this.
are pretty well attended.
Excellent. Last year I was at the community center, and by the way, that's a beautiful place. It was practically standing room only there, and that's a big room.
It is.
And then we have the legislators coming, like Senator Randy Head, Representatives Tim Harmon, Bill Friend, and Doug Gutwein, and they're scheduled, and they will tell us a little bit about what's going on downstate. And so good opportunity to mix and mingle.
That sounds excellent. Anything else you want to add about the chamber?
Oh, I wanted to tell you too to put on your calendar February 13th.
Is that the second?
That's the second
legislative?
one.
Okay.
It's going to be here in Rochester at the Manitow Banquet Center. Again, it's at 7:30. We'll have the same legislators there. Free donuts again.
So you can kind of hit both of them if you want.
Yes,
That's good. Spread it out a little.
Oh, yes. And it's a good idea to attend. We've got a lot of things going on, even though this is a short session. And to really have your voice be heard.
Well, thank you. We're speaking with Gloria Carvey, the 2016 president of the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce. You also direct the Ivy Tech site here in Rochester. We've got just a little time here, but could you mention maybe an update on Ivy Tech? We're all interested in how that's doing as well.
I'm an old techer from way back. And Ivy Tech is, we've been in Rochester at the Rochester Learning Center now since 2011. And our goal was to really get the high school students, because we're so close, to walk over and to take our classes. And we started off with a bang with about 30 students coming over and that first year. And then we kind of dwindled there for a while. It was hard for them to work it in their schedules and so forth. But this last year, we worked with Adam Strasser, the principal at the high school, and Jana Vance, and we got together with a wonderful new plan where high school seniors can come over the first 2 periods and take either an English class or a speech class with our instructors, and we actually have our full professors who come up and teach these classes in the morning. And so we started off with that experiment in the fall, and we had 72 students participate.
Wow.
In that was just amazing. And then this spring we have 37.
Now these kids are all getting
They're
college
they're
credit?
getting free tuition.
Wow.
For their classes, and I put paper with some paper and pencil together to figure out, hey, what's the savings for these parents out there to get their Ivy Tech classes, but they do transfer. They transfer to Purdue, IU, Ball State, any of the state colleges, and many of the private colleges. And it was over $43,000 that parents saved. And high school students were getting a jump on their college education.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And the year before we had 12.
Well, hats off to Jana Vance, yourself, and Adam Strasser for
Oh,
getting that
as I
worked
said,
out.
I can't thank them enough and also the high school counselors. I got to give them, Wendy Terneden and Tara Seifer. They did the planning to make sure that those kids could get over there. And we had to do a lot of prerequisite checking. And I mean, there's always that behind the scenes
the
work.
Logistics.
Yes, of getting these kids enrolled.
Congratulations.
I am so happy.
Happy for the families.
And we are also looking to have even more next year. And so, that's exciting.
Well, Gloria, thank you so much for joining us and giving us an update on the plans for Fulton County Chamber this year, and also for that update on Ivy Tech Rochester. Wonderful job, and thank you for your leadership positions in those 2 organizations.
Oh, well, I really appreciate it. I appreciate this radio show. I love getting on the radio and seeing Scott over there.
And Barron.
And Barron. I can't forget you, Barron. And so, yes, thank you.
Well, we got our trivia answer. How long have we had the tradition of the opposing party giving a response to the State of the Union address? 1947, 1958, or 1966? And
66.
I'm going to say 66 too.
You guys are both correct.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Never Dirksen.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very good.
Also happens to be when First Federal opened its doors in 1966.
Yes.
Something in common. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you, Barron and Scott.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Buying your first home? Let the experts at First Federal Savings Bank help you through the process. At First Federal, all of their mortgage loans are serviced locally, with payment options that are convenient for you. Their staff will work with you, answering your questions and providing professional service. First Federal will even pay standard closing costs for qualifying first-time home buyers. Just another way First Federal takes care of you. Your local mortgage lender.